Alrighty, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So usually, I'm sure you all are familiar with Robert running these meetings. I'm actually going to be stepping in for him today. My name is Kimberly. I'm one of the product specialists with MicroWise. Throughout the meeting today, if you run into any, if there's any very specific questions that you have, feel free to shout them out. If you are not comfortable speaking the questions aloud, we do have the chat boxes as well, or you can take down Robert's contact information that I have on the screen here, and feel free to shoot any emails over with questions that you may have. Okay, just a quick disclaimer, we are recording this session and it will be published on the website, but also we just want to state quickly that MicroWise can't be held responsible for any of the information today, and you are responsible to verify that, just on your own to make sure that everything is accurate for you. All right, so today we're going to be taking a look at the best end of year reports that we have in the Medisoft system. So we're going to go through some of the reports and I will show you where you're able to find them in the system as well. So the first report that we want to talk about and take a look at is, this one is called Collection Statistics Detail. So it does give you information on what you have for your specific patients. So it's giving you your total charges that were billed out for a particular period in time, as well as your collections for those particular patients. And it does give you a nice summary on the bottom here of your total charges, your total collections, and the percent of your collections, as well as the average that you have per patient. So this is actually found in your reports in Medisoft. Let me show you where that is. So it is under your regular Medisoft reports here, and you will want to go into the focus on chiropractic, though these reports can be used for any type of practice. It just seems that maybe they were requested more so by chiropractic offices. And this one is the Collection Statistics Summary. So that one we have right up here. So this is going to be month to date, prior year, or year to date, so you can run based on whatever information you want there. And then the next report that we have is the monthly AR days. So it does give you a lot of information, and it does break it down for you by the month of whatever date range you're running. So it will be monthly if you're doing it for just a year, or you can do it for longer than that. You can see what we have on the screen here is about a 5-year range. Now, these reports do look a little bit funny just because they are coming from our demo database, so it doesn't have a ton of information in there. But basically what we're looking at on this report, it's giving you your total charges for that month, your total payments, adjustments, as well as working days. Let me see if I can run this for you guys so that we can take a look at it. So this one is actually in our focus on collections in our reports, which is going to be right here. And this is going to be our monthly AR days. So it does give you the option of running as date from or date created. So this is going to be either the date of service or the date that it was entered into the system. So you want to make sure that we're doing only one of those if you're going to use a filter. And then it does give you your information based on everything in the system here. So what we're looking at here under the working days is the number of days that the charges have been in the system. And then it's also giving you your average income per day. So it's averaging the month by day for you. It's also giving you a running balance on your aging report. And then the last column we have here, the AR days. This is the days that it was actually in your aging report. So that's going to be based on your date of service, where the working days is based on the date of entry. So it does give you quite a bit of different pieces of information there. Okie doke. Now, our next report here, this is the provider financial report. So this one is a very nice report as well to give you kind of a summary of all of your information. So it does break it down, again, based on whatever date range it is that you're wanting to use for this report. So it does give you per month the charges, your insurance write-off, the net charges. So that's going to be the difference between your charges and your write-off. It's also giving you your insurance payments, patient payments, any adjustments based on the patient payments, and also, again, the change in your AR. So it's giving you your details for each individual month. And then when we get to the bottom, it's also giving you a summary of all of this information for the range that you ran it for. So it gives you the summary of your total charges, your adjustments, any of that information, as well as your payments. So this one does give you a very nice overview of all of the information that we're looking at in the system. So it kind of can just give you a snapshot, and you don't have to kind of run all over the place to try and find any of that information. Okay, so I know a lot of the reports that we are giving are, just total practice reports, summaries of information. So if there are any specific reports that you're looking for or specific functions of the reports, feel free to reach out to us. We can help you find those reports as well. This one that we have here, again, it's another one that's under the Focus on Chiropractors reports in Medisoft, but it does give you, again, a nice overview. This one, instead of breaking it down just by the month, it does actually give you a day-to-day breakdown as well. So you can see it's first grouped by our months, and then within the month, it's showing you the days, and this is telling us the amount in charges that we have posted, the patient payments, insurance payments, total adjustments. It's also giving us our number of patient visits, and one of the really nice areas on this report is actually it will tell you the number of new patients that you had per month. So that's going to be patients that you had visiting for the first time, and it also gives you an average of your services per visit. So this is a really, really nice report if you want to see how things are going or, over the year, how many new patients you've had, and it will total everything for you as well. So this can be very helpful to be able to give you all of that information, particularly the new patients and your average services. So this report is in our Focus on Chiropractic. So we can find this financial statistics. So this one that we were looking at on the screen was the year to date, but you can use month to date, prior month, prior year. And if we run this report here, we can see it in real time where it's giving us all of that information. And when we get to the end, it does actually give us a nice little chart there, as well as our totals all the way at the bottom here. All right, popping back over to our PowerPoint. Now, another one of the areas that I know a lot of patients ask for, either, maybe at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year, they're asking to see how much they paid, how much money they had given to your practice. A lot of patients will use this either for their tax purposes or for their flex spending accounts. They want to be able to see that information. And I'm going to show you exactly where you can get that from. So let me go ahead and swap my screen over. So when we're in Medisoft, if we go to our patient transaction entry, we can go under the print receipt option. And we do have one report here that is patient payments only. Now, this is a report that you should have if you're on the cloud, but if you are not on the cloud, or rather if you do not have this in your system, feel free to get in touch with us and we should be able to load it up for you. But when we select this report, it does give you an option of a date range. So we can come in here and we can say, I want patient payments from January 1st of 2022 to today's date. And when we click OK, this is going to give us a printout of all of the patient payments that have been made on the patient's account. And it does give us a total at the bottom as well as all of the practice information and the patient's information. So this is giving the patients all the information that they need if they are looking for a total amount that they had paid towards your practice for any particular period of time. Okay, so those were really the reports that I had to share. Does anybody have, again, any questions or specific areas that they wanted to, take a look at in terms of reporting? Or if anybody has any general questions about the system, we can take a look at those as well at this time. Okay, so if nobody has any questions, if nobody needs any further information, I did put Robert's contact information back on the screen. Oh, looks like we might have a question here. Okay, so if we do have a question here, who do we contact if we don't have the patient payments only? So you can get in touch with the support line directly, and that phone number is 201-322-4100. And that is going to be option 2 to come through to support. And you can just let them know that you want the patient receipt for patient payments only. And they should be able to help you out with that. Okay. So if we don't have any other questions, this will be recorded and it will be on our website as well. So if you maybe came in a little bit late and you want to see all of the reports that we talked about today, you will be able to see that there. If you come up with any questions or if you have any specific questions, feel free to shoot an email over. I have Robert's email on the screen here and we'll be able to get right back to you. But otherwise, I hope you all have a great day and a great weekend. And thank you so much for joining us today.